Identification with the mind is the root cause of your suffering. The thoughts, as Siddhartha Gautama Buddha said, not even your worst enemies can cause you as much harm as your own thoughts. Buddha said this 2,500 years ago, but it still applies today. Where are these thoughts arising from? When you discover the origin, you can work at source and live with what nature existence created. Your heart is pumping blood. It's its function in the body. Your kidneys are removing impurities from the blood. That's their function. Every organ has its function. The mind's function is to produce thoughts. So, just like the other organs, the mind has its function, and you are the observer, the consciousness. You can say, I have a heart. Linguistically speaking, this is correct. But in truth, the heart is in the body, and you are not the body. You are the consciousness that is observing the body. In the same way, so is the mind. Thoughts are being produced. And prior to the thoughts, consciousness already existed. Thoughts are leaping from consciousness. And when a human being is unconscious, when they are not alert, they identify with these thoughts. They cling to the thoughts. You think, I want things to flow this way. I want to move this object. I want to be in a relationship with someone. First, the thought arises, a created idea that, for example, you want to be in a relationship with someone. And in that thought, there is an I that wants to be in a relationship. So you are going to the source. First, you see the thought that you want to do something, for example, to be in a relationship. And the one who wants to be in a relationship is an I that has arisen. And you have to investigate this I. Where did this I arise from? From the thought itself. The I thought, the first one to arise. In one of Ramana's teachings, he says the following: hold the I thought and stay with it. For example, you want to relate to someone who isn't even present in the moment. It is your thought creating an idea that you want to have a relationship with someone. But this is an illusion. The I that wants to be in a relationship is the ego. So you are going to hold this I thought. Put quotes around the word hold. In a subjective way. You will look at this thought and leave it alone, not allowing it to flow. Because, for example, if you are thinking about being in a relationship with someone, the thought can grow and create many possibilities. Someone with certain emotional characteristics. Someone with certain concepts. Someone with a certain social status. It's all thought. All illusion. When you least expect it, anxiety has taken hold of you. There is no one near you. If you are anxious, hold the I thought. It belongs to the ego. There is no one near you. And when the body's natural chemistry starts to relate, so there will be two bodies relating in that moment. This fact is happening. There is no suffering because the body's natural chemistry will bring those people together. The issue of your suffering will arise when you cling to this I thought, the one that wants to relate to someone you think will be mine. So the thought arises from the mind. They are jumping out, you cannot stop them. This teaching that I've shared with you for the first time here, it's something deeper. People who are just starting out, they will have a certain difficulty in being alert, cutting the thought. First, you will hold the thought. This is the example I'm giving. of you having the thought of wanting to be in a relationship with someone. Hold it. Other thoughts will arise of how I am imagining this person should be, of how my meeting with this person will be. All illusion if you give way to the thought. But if you hold it, it remains quiet right there. Other thoughts of a different nature will arise, but this one that you held will stay quiet, held in quotes. So, dear ones, there are several strategies, various mechanisms for you to deal with this mind. One of the most practiced techniques is meditation. The meditation technique will quiet the thoughts. Practiced regularly for a longer time, 30 or 40 minutes. Especially early in the morning, you will see how your day will be. It will be much calmer, much smoother, because with a restless mind, you cannot hold the thought. You will be stuck to it, and from that arisen I thought that wants to do this or that wants to relate to someone. Countless thoughts will arise. Psychologists have already calculated that, on average, 60,000 thoughts pass through your mind every day. With this technique of holding the thought, far fewer thoughts will pass through you, and far fewer disturbances. Thoughts, for example, to seek happiness. A desire arises, related to tomorrow, to the future. You want happiness, but you may find unhappiness. In reality, what is causing you unhappiness is the search for happiness. Because you must find the I that is seeking happiness. Because happiness is your nature, it is your being. You do not need to search for it. When this I is in search of happiness, you will find unhappiness. You will live in a mental duality. Through your desires, you'll experience both pleasure and pain. Because if you go back to desiring things, it's because you are in pain. You stay in this vicious cycle. Observe when you are in search of happiness. If there is an I desiring happiness, and observe if that's actually going to bring you happiness or just some quick temporary pleasure. You must hold this thought. Happiness is something immanent to your state of being. You do not need to search for it. Thoughts arise, for example. You want to make a decision. The objective world is there. Your work, your relationships. You will use thoughts in a technical, useful way. But allow your thoughts to remain detached. What do I mean by detached? As mere possibilities. A great master from the East, Lao Tzu, said, I don't decide in advance. I hesitate. I only decide in the moment. Start doing this practice. Thoughts are possibilities. Your energy is directed outward, for example, toward an objective demand at work. Remember, everything is a possibility. Don't hold this thought, these ideas of tomorrow, because the more energy you put into thoughts of tomorrow, the greater your suffering will be when they don't come true. So everything will be open. But then the ego arises, wanting a guarantee. The ego cannot feel threatened that what is being thought might not work out. Dear, life is a mystery. Life is like living on the razor's edge. You never know what will happen to you in the next moment. This is real life. If you have a life where you live trying to have control over everything your thoughts are demanding, It's a mediocre life. It's a life of misery, of suffering. You are looking for security. Security in your professional life, security in your marriage. There is no security. Life itself is an insecurity. That's why it is so beautiful and wonderful.